So in this lesson, we're going to solve average problems. Alright, so Gabe took 4 assessments this semester. His grades are 73, 75, 80, and 87. What will Gabe need on his next exam to have an average of at least an 80%? So how many exams?
4.
4. So his 73 plus 75 plus 80 plus 87, which is his 4 exams, plus his last exam. What does he need? That's our variable. To find the average of these exams, since he's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to divide these 5 totals, or these 5 exams, by 5, and this should give us an average of at least an 80, greater than or equal to 80. We can simplify, we can combine our like terms here. 73 plus 75 plus 80 plus 87. We get a total of 315. So we got 315 plus x divided by 5 is greater than or equal to 80. Now this just becomes a 2-step equation. How do I solve for x? What's my first step?
Multiply by 5.
Multiply both sides by 5. So now I have 315 plus x is greater than or equal to 400. Another 2-step equation. X is greater than or equal to 400 minus 315, which is an 85. So he needs a score of at least 85% to get an 80. Alright, so the average of DUCATI is 9, where each one of these variables represent a number. The average of CAT is 7, where each one of these variables, CAT, represent a number. Find the average of DUI. Okay. So if we have DUCATI is equal to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters here. So if you add up all the letters of DUCATI, divide by 6, you get an average of 9. If you add up all the letters of CAT, divide by 3, you get an average of 7. What I'm looking for is the average of D plus U plus I. In order to find the average of something, how do I find the average of something?
You add all of them up and then you divide by
So add them all up, find a total, and then divide by however many numbers you have. Alright, so what we need is the total of D plus U plus I. Do I really care individually what they are? No, I just care about what is D plus U plus I. So how do I find the total of Ducati, or DUCATI? How do I find the total of this? Guys, say that?
multiply by 6.
Multiply by 6. So if I multiply both sides by 6, DUCATI is equal to 54. How do I find the total of CAT?
You multiply by 3.
Good. Multiply both sides by 3, and now I see that CAT is equal to 21. Almost there. Now what? Now I only want just DUI. Now what do I do? Beautiful. I'm going to subtract CAT and 21 from DUCATI. So my C's go away. My A's simplify, and my T's simplify. So now I'm left with D plus U plus I is equal to, and then 51 minus 24, and I get an answer of 33. Excellent. So the sum, or the total of D plus U plus I is 33. How do I find the average of these 3 letters? Or these 3
Divide by 3.
divide by 3. So the average of D, U, I is equal to
11.
Alright, so the average of LEBRON is 20. The average of LEN is 4. Find the average of BRO. So we have L plus E plus B plus R plus O plus N, which each represent a number, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, or 6 numbers, and you find your average of 20. So now how do I find the total of this?
Multiply by 6.
Beautiful. So if I multiply this all by 6, I'll find the total of L plus E plus B plus RON, which is equal to 120. Let's do the same with LEN. So now we have L plus E plus N is equal to 4. So the average of this. So L plus E plus N divided by 3 is equal to 4. How do I find the total of this one?
Multiply by 3.
Multiply by 3. So now I can say that L plus E plus N is equal to 12. So now I have the total of LeBron, I have the total of Len, I need the total of BRO. So L plus E plus B plus R plus O plus N equals 120. The total of Len, I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to write the letters right underneath. So L plus E plus N equals 12. Now, what's my next step now?
Subtract.
I'm going to subtract this whole piece. There goes my L's, there goes my E's. I'm left with B plus R plus O, which equals 120 minus 12. My N's go away also. 120 minus 12, which is equal to 108. So, my last step,
Divide by 3.
beautiful, let's divide by 3. So the average of B plus R plus O is equal to
36.
Billy took 10 exams this semester. His grades were all above 70, except for 3 grades that he scored in the 60s. His average was a 78. Luckily, his teacher decided to drop any grade lower than a 70. His 3 test grades below a 70 averaged to be 64. What was his average after dropping the grades below a 70? So if we have 10 test grades, so we have 10 exams. So we could say E1 plus E2 plus E3 all the way up to plus E10. So these 10 exams, after being divided by 10, averaged to be a 78. He had 3 exams. Let's say his first 3 exams, E1 plus E2 plus E3, 3 of his 10 exams that were lower, that were in the 60s, after dividing by 3, averaged to be a 64. Again, I divide this by 10 because 10 numbers divided by 10 gives me my average. 3 numbers, a total of 3 numbers divided by 3 gives me my average of those 3 numbers. So now his 10 exams, if I want to know the total of his 10 exams, well, I'm going to take my 780 and I'm going to clear my fraction here and I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. Multiply both sides by 10. So his total of his exam 1 through exam 10 is equal to 780. And I could do the same on the other end. If I clear this fraction, multiplying both by 3. So exam 1 plus exam 2 plus exam 3, which hypothetically represent the exams that were below a 70, is 64 times 3, which was 192. So now if I have the 780 minus 182, the 7 remaining exams has a total of 588. Now to find the average of these remaining exams, which has a total of 588, I'm going to take my 588 and I'm going to divide by 7. Now if I take my 588 and I divide by 7, I should get an average of 84%.